2024 will be an interesting year for the PlayStation 5, with already pretty great games confirmed, but also the start of a new push, a brand new console, more free DLC, and we will likely see many big teases for the future. Here's everything you can expect for the PS5 in 2024. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is almost here. I already got the game from Sony, so we'll have coverage up starting on January 16th. I think in particular streaming the No Return roguelike mode will be fun, but I know most people are curious about the lost levels, where we can walk around in 3 early in development slices and also hear developer commentary to learn more about the development of Part 2. A $10 upgrade if you already own the PS4 version, of course. So we are also getting New Game Plus in Spider-Man 2 in early 2024. Just like brand new free suits made by artist Kid Super, the ability to change the time of day, and way more. So basically a big free update that could also lead into free DLC throughout the year. We learned that Insomniac at least at one point had plans for 3 pieces of free DLC with new boss fights, missions, and other content. I would love that, but this could have changed, so don't expect it, and then hopefully we will be surprised. But yeah, with God of War Valhalla as a surprise at the end of 2023, it does seem that Sony is willing to release big free DLC for their games to get them in the spotlight again, so it seems that that will happen for Spider-Man 2 as well. Let's keep our fingers crossed. The highlight in terms of big new exclusives for 2024 is of course Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, that I'm in particular interested in because it's more of an open world game this time. I already loved the first part of the remake, but it had very limited progression, so I hope the more open nature for the sequel means that there are more secrets to discover and maybe special bosses to find, which could then also lead to cool rewards, so deeper RPG elements. And of course spending more time with the amazing cast from Final Fantasy VII will already be amazing. Sony just confirmed that Stellar Blade, the hack and slasher first slated for 2023, is now indeed coming in this new year, as was featured in a 2024 video for PS5, would be a perfect spring title. We already know that we will get the second Final Fantasy XVI DLC in that spring window that will add a brand new region to the game and also new powers. Like, it will be bigger than the first piece of content we already got, so I'm totally looking forward to it. Helldivers 2 is seemingly one of the many live service games that Sony has planned, but so far there has been little to no buzz about this co-op shooter while it's coming out pretty soon. I can totally see them put this on PlayStation Plus or one of the higher tiers later in the year to boost the player numbers. Next to PS5, it's by the way also coming to PC day one, which is part for the course for these live service games. Because Concord, the PvP multiplayer FPS from Firewalk Studios, is also coming to PS5 and PC at the same time in 2024. I would argue that this is the first real bet for their live service push, so it will already be fascinating to see what their approach will be, how successful this will be, and that will then teach us more about the future of their live service initiative, because so far it doesn't look that great, with them also delaying half of the 12 titles they first had planned before April 2026. So yeah, 2024 marks an interesting year for this live service push they've been working on for the last couple of years. But luckily we got many single player exclusives as well, like Rise of the Ronin. I said in a previous video that the difficulty should be comparable to that found in the Neo games, which is the franchise that these developers worked on before Rise of the Ronin. But while there will still be a challenging mode, there will be difficulty options as well that will make it more similar to other PlayStation releases. Like, I think it will be very cool to explore this promising looking open world while we wait for Ghost of Tsushima 2 that I hope will finally be revealed this year. If you like the video so far, leaving a like would really help me out, so thanks for that, and of course subscribe, because we will be covering everything PlayStation here in 2024. Also in early 2024 we will see the Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition come to PC. Zero Dawn is still the best selling PC release for Sony, by the way, so this will probably be pretty big, putting Horizon on the map again, but I'm in particular curious about what other Horizon projects we will see in 2024, because there is a ton planned. Also pretty crazy is that we learned that Horizon Zero Dawn was the best-selling PlayStation exclusive as of April 16th, 2023. Yes, it sold more than God of War and Spider-Man 2018, and it's partly thanks to the PC release. So yeah, I guess it makes more sense that Sony wants to do a remaster, also looking at the upcoming Netflix show that we know is in the works by the Umbrella Academy showrunner. But while we might hear the first casting details this year, the show itself still seems far away, so I don't think we will hear about the Zero Dawn PS5 remaster in 2024 either. But I do think there's a high chance that we see the online game that Guerrilla Games is working on at least revealed. It seems to focus on characters from the different Horizon tribes that all have special abilities and weapons to take out the robot dinosaurs, so we have to team up with other players to be successful. Now this image is from a few years ago, so I'm very curious what it looks like now. It has already been in development for 6 years, looking at the game director's LinkedIn, so it will probably exceed Zero Dawn's total dev cycle of 7 years, which is also kind of wild to think about. And good to note is that this game is different from the mobile MMO NCSoft is seemingly working on. We just learned, thanks to Kurakasis, that the internal name for that is a Skyline Project. Yes, that looks very similar to the Horizon font. But yeah, it is still far away, with them starting seemingly in 2021. So I don't expect to hear anything from this for a while. But we do know about a ton of big third-party games that will be coming to PS5 in 2024. Metal Gear Solid Delta was also featured in that PlayStation video I mentioned before with Stellar Blade. So it seems like this remake of 3 is coming this year as well. The first footage of it running on Unreal Engine 5 looked awesome. Like, I'm totally down to return to this series in 2024. And Silent Hill 2, the other Konami remake, also seems to be planned for this year. Other big PS5 games include Black Myth Wukong, of course, in August. And I really hope they launch a demo for this game, because playing it at Gamescom really sold me on it while I was already interested before. I know a lot of people are already looking forward to it, but like, playing it will, I think, convince even more people. I'm also really looking forward to Star Wars Outlaws, the open world Ubisoft game. Disney actually put up an article recently saying that the title would be coming in late 2024. IGN spotted this, but Ubisoft reached out to them saying that the late 2024 timing had been updated to a correct release window of 2024. So really implying it's coming earlier in the year instead. The now pretty quiet spring or like summer period would be perfect for this game. Dragon's Dogma 2 got some brand new gameplay recently from IGN, and it just continues to look like a ton of fun. I just can't wait to get lost in this world, and Assassin's Creed Red should be coming out at the end of the year. Of course, another massive open world game we can get lost in. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. If you want to know about way more games coming to PS5 in 2024, I go over all the important ones in a previous video that I will leave a link to in the video description for if you haven't watched it yet. Now, 2023 was a pretty big year for PlayStation hardware. We of course saw the PSVR 2. Hopefully that gets some love in 2024. Nothing is really announced at the time of this recording, but I would love a good reason to put the headset on. I'm still kinda hoping for Half-Life Alyx, although the chance of that happening seem really slim. My favorite new PlayStation gadget has totally been the PlayStation Portal though. Like, I will totally be playing way more 2024 games on this device if I don't have to be like fully immersed. It's really amazing. But in 2024 we should see an even more exciting piece of PlayStation hardware, the PS5 Pro, for people like me who want to get the most out of their console games. Now, having a Pro console in the previous generation totally made more sense for the 4K support, but if the PS5 Pro can reach that 4K 60 for most games with ray tracing, then I think that's already exciting for me. And DLSS should help with that, so AI to improve resolution and frame rates. I'm really curious. It should be out at the end of the year. But it will probably be revealed at its own dedicated event. I don't think it will be in the PlayStation Showcase. Sony will once again very likely do at the end of May or in early June. But I do think that this year's edition will be bigger than what we had last year, because really, in terms of upcoming games, we know nothing apart from Wolverine, Fair Games, and Death Stranding 2. So yeah, I think Ghost of Tsushima 2 will likely be here, but I also hope we get glimpses at maybe some more future projects. In November 2022, we namely learned that Cory Barlog's new IP has already been in the works for many years, so I'm really curious what that will be. In 2023, we of course learned that the Last of Us multiplayer game was cancelled, but to soften the blow, Naughty Dog did say that they had multiple single-player games in development, so seeing one of those would of course be awesome and probably make us more excited about the future of the studio again, because this generation they've only been focused on re-releases so far. Will we finally learn why Sony teased an Uncharted project seemingly in their Live from PlayStation ad almost a year ago? I hope so. And there are way more potential reveals from Sony that we could see in 2024, like for Sony Ben's new game, the team behind Days Gone, Blue Point, point seems to be making original content now instead of remakes. What is Team Asobi doing? Like, these teams seem far enough in development to reveal and maybe even release their game in 2024. You can watch my full video on the big games that I think will be announced in 2024 for PS5 and other platforms by clicking on the screen. Of course, subscribe for coverage on these games. A like on the video would be awesome, and I will speak to you very soon. Goodbye.